just spilled my orange juice. What's up, you guys? It's Shaky. This is going to be 10 things I hate about Dungeons & Dragons. I'm just kidding. I know it was clickbaity, but listen, want to bait the clicks. Anyways, there are a lot of things that I like about D&D. Obviously, I'm making a whole kind of channel based around it, but let's talk about the not so great things about D&D. Number one, the bane of my existence, scheduling. So everybody has lives, right? And that's not ideal, because it should all be centered around D&D. But here we are, alas. So something that my D&D group has done that's helped our scheduling a lot is made specific days set to D&D. But like I said, everybody has a life, so there are often long gaps between sessions, and I often have to be the one as the DM to schedule the sessions, which means getting everybody to respond in the group chat. Looking at me. Yeah, which means sometimes following up with people when they don't respond to the group chat.
Again, the cameras appear.
It means sometimes being mean. No, I'm kidding. You shouldn't be mean to your plays. I think work should always come before D&D. Like, if somebody's like, I have this work thing, live your life, man. Go to work. Do it. But where was I going with this?
You were unemployed, I think is...
Hashtag hire me. Scheduling sucks, and if work comes into play, a player can't make a session. I get it. Gotta make a living. Gotta get that money. But at the end of the day, it makes me sad. No, it's fine. Well, sometimes it's a lot harder in the winter with holidays and birthday seasons. I know birthdays can be literally any time, but in my group specifically, the September to October range, it's just 2 months, but it's filled with birthdays. And so it's fine. Number two! Ooh, too many NPCs. Listen, I wish I didn't have to make a living world. I wish that there could just be one guy that they interacted with the other entire time. But that's not how things work, okay? I have to make a living world. And they interact with so many people, guys. It's just sometimes there's not a reason that they need to interact with that many people. So coming up with a list of NPC names and making them up on the spot, and then somehow they come back into play later because they remember the one innkeeper named Diana the Dead. That's actually a pretty sick name. Just came up with it. But write that down, Kim. I do get why they would want to come back and talk to Diana the Dead, but sometimes it's just Diane, okay? Why do you want to come back and talk to Diane? What I'm saying is I don't like remembering things. Number three, metagaming. Listen, to each their own on this one. I don't like it. Why would your character know that? Don't have your character do something that they don't know. Just because you know it doesn't mean your character knows it. And I know that's hard to separate, but still, it irks me. But it's not that big of a deal. But still, I like to give a gentle reminder of no metagaming. Make things play out how they actually would. I feel like I'm giving very intense eye contact right now. Number four. Players that do phenomenally well / outsmart me. It's all about me. No, listen, I want my players to have fun. But when they have all the fun and I get to have no fun, pisses me off. I'm sick of rolling 1s and 2s. I like rolling that 20s as well. Good for you. Bad for me. Also, who do they think they are coming out here thinking of these phenomenal escape plans and stuff like that? That's not the D&D group I chose. The D&D group I chose struggled for 1 hour over a puzzle on colors. Why y'all out here figuring out how to snatch amulets from demons and devils like it's nothing? You couldn't tell me what Roji Biv was. Number five, my players calling me daddy. Bear with me. Slight disclaimer, my producer really wants me to put this one in here. It is not relatable to anyone at all. So if you want, go ahead and skip to number 6. But for those of you real ones, strap in, okay? We have a player, specifically my producer's player, named Hippopotmatheus. Hippopotmatheus is a total 99th in the birth order of the 99 siblings, right? So he's right at the bottom. Great thing about Hippo's family, they all had the same naming convention. And it was an animal and then Potmatheus at the end. So, tiger Potmatheus, cat Potmatheus, salamander Potmatheus, right? And what they all do is they go by the animal leg. So when I introduced one of her brothers named Daddy Longlegs Potmatheus, I went, so you could call me Daddy. And as it left my mouth, I realized what had gone wrong, and I regretted it ever since. And my players will bring it up, much to my chagrin, literally at any chance they have. They will always bring it up and call me Daddy, and I'm not Daddy. That can be clipped for TikTok, I'm sure. I'm not Daddy. Number 6, prep. I have a love-hate relationship with prep. When I don't need to do it, I do it all the time. I do it in my spare time. I do crazy stuff that nobody's ever gonna see. Like one time, I wrote a sea shanty about a lore in the world, and it's on my world anvil, and I'm pretty sure none of my players have looked at it, and that's fine because it doesn't matter. It literally would give them the smallest bit. Anyways, but when I do need to prep, I don't do it. There's something about needing to do it that makes me not want to do it. And it will often be the night before the session that I do all of this massive prep work, even though I had 2 weeks. We have bi-weekly games. 2 weeks between the sessions. And I chose to do it the night before, sometimes the morning of, if I'm feeling spicy. But anyways, I have a love-hate relationship with prep. I don't even know if it should be on here because I do genuinely like prep, but I also hate it. So that's why I made it. Number 7, my players having group chat without me. This one's more personal and it invokes my FOMO. I just like to be included in things. Also, sometimes it's good for your DM to know what you're planning so they can make their prep around the plan. Just because they know doesn't mean that they're going to just stop you. It means that they can then accurately prep. Number 8, it's pricey. It doesn't have to be pricey, don't get me wrong, right? But I have a problem, and when I like something, I spend a lot of money on that thing. You can absolutely play D&D with pencil and papers and get the same experience. It can be so much fun. I like to spend all of my money on things that don't matter, like spell effect rings for my minis, terrain builds, which can get pricey, a cool projector DM screen. That one I think's worth it because it's pretty cool. If you want to see my video on the DM screen, click, I don't know, Cam will put it somewhere on the screen. Cam, freeze me when I'm pointing to where it's going to go. Click here! I don't know how they work. Anyways, number 9, my players remembering lore that I don't. Listen, this is great. I love that they're invested in remembering things. However, it's very hard when they mention something so confidently to stare at them and try to rack your brain and remember what the they're talking about. Because while they see it as a very important plot point, it was probably something that I just made up. But that doesn't mean it can't be important. You gotta reward them for learning things and remembering things. However, doesn't mean I don't hate being put on the spot. As a DM, you're always put on the spot. So if you hate that, don't be a DM. Honestly, you can be a DM. I do it. Scrap that whole thing. Okay. I am God, is what you need to understand. And so what I say goes. And if you're remembering lore that I don't, what kind of God am I? One with loyal followers. I'm kidding. It's fine. I'm happy they're remembering stuff. But it's also awkward when I have to remember it on the spot. Number 10. Final reason I hate being a GM. Having to be the bad guy. I feel bad a lot of the time. Some call me a people pleaser. I call myself also a people pleaser. I think that's a pretty accurate description of what I am. But I don't like killing my characters. It makes me feel bad. But sometimes you gotta do it because sometimes they're stupid. And then I just like I don't like saying no, but sometimes you gotta do it because they're asking for the third legendary weapon of the session, and you just gotta be like, guys, you can't have that many legendary weapons, even though you want to, because you know it'd make them so happy, but you can't. You have to be the bad guy. I don't like that. Yeah. Anyway, that was 10 reasons I don't like being a DM. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any funny stories about being a DM or anything you don't like or anything I missed, feel free to put it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, shaky out. Okay, I gotta hide. No. Stop. I'm hiding. Oh, it's so dirty. Ow! Got the cameras.
And cut.
And cut. Hey, we did that all before 6:30.